When you do the squat lateral, dumbbells are at your shoulders. If your shoulders are getting tired, you can bring them down into the middle. The big thing to remember is you're going to take a double hip width stance. You're going to shift your hips, shoulders, so they're in line with your knee and ankle, the side you're going to. If your stance is too wide, your hip and shoulder won't get over your ankle. If your stance is too narrow, your hips will get outside. Reach back with your rear end, keeping this foot flat on the ground. And the trailing leg nice and straight so that you get good stretch through that groin. When you do the quadruped rock back, don't let the lower part of your back round at all. So just sit straight back with your hips as far as you can. You will get to a point where your sort of tail tucks under a little bit, and I don't want you going that far. We're trying to clean up that squat pattern. You really like to bend your low back a lot, or round your low back to get down in that squat position. So just think sitting your hips straight back, keeping an arch in your low back for the quadruped rock back. This three-way med ball reach, I think, is one of the best exercises you can do for your posterior chain, which includes your glutes, your hamstrings, your calves, and even your back extensors. So you're going to balance on one foot. If you don't have a medicine ball, that's no problem. You can grab a 5-pound dumbbell, a 3-pound dumbbell, anything that you have around. It really doesn't need to be heavy. In fact, it shouldn't be all that heavy. This is just a 4-pound medicine ball. So the movements will be exactly the same. You'll hold the weight with 2 hands. You'll reach forward. So I'm trying to reach right to the camera with the ball. And as I do that, as I come forward with my torso, my leg comes out behind me. So it all moves at the same time, reaching as far as I can. So that's putting a stretch through my hamstrings, my glutes. I'm going to use my glutes, my butt muscle, to help pull me back up. My back extensors are working to maintain a neutral position. My lower leg is working to help me maintain my balance. So the first one was straight out. Now I'm going to reach over my pinky toe as far as I can, but I don't want the knee to fall in like that, so I have to keep my good knee alignment, and again, that requires a lot of strength and smarts from my glutes. Then I come back up to balance. Now I'm going to reach out to the side of my big toe, again keeping my good knee alignment. Now you can see as I get a little more comfortable with this exercise, I'm still going to take my time when I reach, but I'm going to come back up to my starting position a little bit quicker. And the last bonus warm-up drill I want to give you is just a nice T-spine rotation. So I'm trying to keep this part of my back flat. My hand is at my ear. I'm rotating my chest and shoulders up. So what that does is it improves some of the mobility between my shoulder blades, so that when I'm moving and rotating with my torso, that's being shared along the length of my spine. And really your thoracic spine should have a little more of that rotation than your lumbar spine. That can get really stiff, especially if you have a bit of a rounded posture from hockey, or also just from sitting at your desk all day. So that can get stiff, and then the rotation starts to come more from your lower back, and that's a big problem because your lower back doesn't really like that much rotation. So we want to keep that nice and mobile so that you can move where you need to move. Also, if you're in this position a bit, you're not open up in your thoracic spine. When you go to make a glove save, this is all the mobility you have. So either that puck's going to just tip your glove and go over top, or you're going to get the mobility by extending at your lumbar spine, which again, you can see how over time, over season after season, that could create some low back trouble for you. This is the side clamshell. So arrange yourself so that your feet are in line with your rear end and your back. Your hips are rolled slightly forward, your knees are touching, your feet are touching, and then you're just going to lift up that top knee. Feeling it out here, so think about squeezing there. Make sure when you lift that top knee, you're not rolling your hips backwards. You want to stay nice and stable. If you have trouble and you're not sure if you have the right position, or maybe you're not feeling in the right spot, you can always lie with your feet, your rear end, your back right along a wall with your knees bent to about 90 degrees, and that will help ensure that you're in the right position. Let me just show you from the front what that'll look like. Side clamshell. This is just a variation of a plank drill that I learned from Charlie Weingroff a couple weeks ago. So we're going to go into our normal plank, nice straight line body position, but now I'm going to kind of dig my hands and my forearms into the turf, and I'm kind of trying to pull like I would be pulling this way, but I'm not going to actually move anywhere. So I'm pulling my hands, my elbows down. I'm keeping a nice straight line body position. My torso shouldn't be moving in any way. And you'll really feel when you pull the activation level in your abdominals and your torso really explode.